Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Jordan Hosbine with the Iron and Grit podcast. And today I want to talk to you about the carnivore diet. Now, apparently, January is World Carnivore Month. I think that is just proof that this craze is sweeping across the nation. More and more people are eating just meat, just animal products, and eating a carnivore diet. They're leaving the vegetables aside, they're leaving the grains aside, the fruits aside, and strictly eating animal meat. And I've done this several times for a few extended periods of times, and I want to talk about the pros and cons of the carnivore diet in case you may want to check out this diet yourself. So, first of all, what is the carnivore diet? It's just what it sounds like. You eat like a carnivore. You'll eat only meat. Eggs are allowed. Whole eggs are allowed. You can eat any kind of meat. You can eat beef, chicken, fish, steak, turkey, duck, lamb, kangaroo, alligator. It doesn't matter. Bear. You can eat any type of animal. Eggs are allowed as well. And some people even have cream or milk when they're on the carnivore diet. I didn't have cream or milk, but I did cook my steaks in butter. I cooked all of my steaks in butter and my eggs in butter. So there's that. Butter is allowed. Cream is allowed as well. Other than that, you're allowed to drink water and black coffee. No added sugar, no sweeteners, nothing artificial. It seems like it's a very boring diet, but it's actually super tasty. Steaks and eggs are my favorite foods. And once you start eating them and tasting how delicious they are, if you cook them well, I crave them every single day. I'll eat them multiple times a day, and it never gets old. Season it really nicely with salt and pepper. Any meat that you eat with salt and pepper, and then you can experiment with other spices as well, so you get a variety of flavors. And you can try cooking in different ways too. You can roast it, you can broil it, you can pan fry it, you can grill the meats. You can bake the eggs, you can do all kinds of stuff. So it really, having those limitations with the ingredients that you're allowed to eat, with the food items that you can eat on a carnivore diet, actually force you to become creative and try new and interesting spices and techniques and ways to cook those few food items. So it's kind of interesting. It's interesting to try and to find different ways to do things. But anyway, some of the pros and cons of the carnivore diet, because there are both. The pros, I will start with, you get to eat steak all the time, and it's awesome, because who doesn't love to go to a steakhouse and have a big porterhouse or a big T-bone or New York strip, juicy, thick cut, medium rare steak? Now, you don't have to eat steak every night. I mean, sure, it can get expensive, but you can find good, fatty, delicious cuts of steak pretty much at any store if you look for the right deals. I mean, I go to like Sam's Club or Costco, and I can stock up and I can get sirloin steaks that are cut into meal-sized portions, and it's perfect. It's like $12, and there's like 6 or 7 steaks in there, and each one I'll have like 1 or 2 per meal, and that's perfect. That holds me over. So you're eating steak and eggs, and the pros are it's getting you everything that you need. Animal meat, especially beef, is the most nutrient dense food that you can eat, besides like beef liver. And the reason that is because it has the healthy fats, and fat is where a lot of the fat soluble vitamins reside. So you're eating the animal fat, you're getting all those nice vitamins. You're getting a lot of protein, all your full range of amino acids. So that's going to help you with muscle recovery. It's going to help you. It's going to give your body everything that it needs to repair and replenish itself, and it's going to give you nice, clean, slow-burning energy throughout the day, so you don't have any insulin crashes or insulin spikes or any issues with blood sugar going up and down throughout the day, messing with your mood, messing with your energy. You don't get any of that when you're eating a carnivore diet. Another benefit that I experienced when I was on the carnivore diet is that my muscle recovery after a workout was way better. My muscle soreness went way down. Even if I have a grueling leg day, I'm doing squats and then I'm doing lunges and I'm doing leg press and I'm going to leg extensions and then I'm doing box jumps and then I'm burning out with more lunges. Those freaking are brutal. And I'll be sore for the next 3 days, like a deep soreness, to the point where I could barely get up and down off of the toilet or walk up the stairs without being in agony. And when I eat carnivore, I think you have less inflammation because you're not eating the carbohydrates, which inflame your body and cause that discomfort and that pain. So that's another pro. I slept less and had more energy. Paradoxically, how does that work? I have a theory, but that was the case. When I was eating carnivore, I would go to bed at 10 and I would wake up at 4. My alarm clock was set for like 4:30, but I would wake up at 4 o'clock and I would just spring right out of bed. As soon as my eyeballs open, my mind was awake. My eyes were awake. I didn't have the heavy eyelids. I didn't have the grogginess. I was ready to go. And I would go to the gym. I would do my workout. And then I would come home, eat, shower, get ready for my day, and have energy all day to work without feeling tired or crash or get any type of afternoon slump. So that was pretty amazing, really. Another benefit, let's see, I had the energy that I never had before, very even keel throughout the day. I was very focused. My brain, I felt like I could think better. I had zero brain fog. I know sometimes if I eat carbs, especially when I have something to do, some mental task to do, it carbs put a mental block in my mind. I've noticed that there's definitely a connection because I've experimented with this, and it seems like anytime I eat carbs, especially like pasta or rice or potato, I'm in trouble. Like I am in trouble if I eat it for lunch because I will have the hardest time concentrating in the afternoon after I eat the carbs because my mind just feels so muddled and I can barely concentrate on a thought. So when I eat a carnivore diet, I have no issue concentrating. I have no issue putting mental focus and pouring into anything that I do, and it takes very little effort. It's like I'm so primed and ready that it doesn't take any extra effort. It's like, all right, it's go time. It's time for me to take care of this task. It's just so much easier. It takes so much less mental energy and having to force myself to do something because it's just easier to do. It's like the barrier to start doing a task and to do it and to complete it. It's easier to focus and just get it done when you don't have that cloud in your mind muddying up your vision and messing up your concentration. So that was a big benefit. It's definitely a high performance type of diet, if you ask me. I mean, granted, you probably won't see Michael Phelps or LeBron James eating a carnivore diet because, you know, they'll need the extra calories and the extra carbs. They're for their workouts, and they're doing an endurance sport. However, I do know, actually met a dude on Instagram who is an endurance athlete. He's a distance runner, and I think he does fencing as well. And he eats strictly carnivore and has that way for years, and he's been perfectly fine. I mean, his performance has not suffered at all. It's actually improved because he's gained more lean body weight and lost the body weight that is not useful for him. So he's actually lost the fat, which leads me into another great benefit. It's incredible fat loss diet. Fat will literally melt off of your bones, off of your body on a carnivore diet. You don't eat the extra carbs. You don't have all the extra glycogen in your body. You don't have the extra water weight on your body that's weighing down your joints. You have lean muscle mass that you maintain, and everything else tightens up and feels great. Nothing extra, no filler. There's no filler calories. It's all very nutrient dense because that's all you're eating is meat. You're eating meat and you're eating fat and you're eating eggs, which are the best sources of food that you could possibly eat. So you'll lose fat. You'll drop fat quickly. You'll drop weight quickly, I should say, and you will also burn fat. The weight, I want to say, when I did carnivore, I did it for about 2.5 weeks, and the weight dropped off almost immediately. Like the first day, I lost some water weight, and my abs look a little harder, a little tighter, a little more defined. And then the weight just kept dropping by about a pound a day. And by about a week and a half in, I was down about 10 or 12 pounds. So that wasn't just the water weight, there was some fat being burnt as well. But I wasn't hungry. I didn't really have any cravings that were too bad. Actually, I did have some cravings, which I'll talk about in the cons, but it was definitely something worth trying. Let's put it that way. It was quite an experience to have that energy, to be eating that way, eating my favorite foods all the time, to have that energy, and to really perform in the gym too. I didn't lose any of my strength. My endurance did go down a little bit, I noticed. I noticed it was harder to grind through some of the reps that I normally could get. Some sets that I could normally, if I was eating carbs, get 10 reps on, I might have got 8 on a carnivore diet. So I did reduce my volume a little bit. I did keep the weight I was lifting high though, so I didn't lose any strength. However, my ability to train at a high intensity using endurance was impacted negatively to an extent. So if I were to move on to the cons, it did take some time for my body to adjust to eating strictly the carnivore diet. A little bit of discomfort in the stomach. Diarrhea was the main thing. I didn't have any issues going to the bathroom. I had no constipation, no binding. It was just my bowels wanted to evacuate, and it was just very uncomfortable because it would come on. The urge to go would come on very suddenly, and it felt like it was like the dike was just about to break at any minute, if you know what I mean. When the sensation showed up, it wasn't like that all the time, but when it was like, oh, I gotta go, it's like, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go now. Like, we're going. so so it was kind of uncomfortable. You kind of had to be careful in a way. And I didn't like that. I did some research into it to figure out why. And it could have been that I wasn't eating enough fat. If I was eating, because when I did it, I was eating steaks and I was also eating roast. And that roast may have been a little bit too dry. And I may have cooked out or pulled out too much of the fat. So without the fat to help digest all the protein, I think it may have caused an issue with my digestion and led to the explosive diarrhea. But that was probably the main drawback. Other than that, I can't really think of any cons. You know, I guess if we're being honest, there were like my BO changed a little bit. So I don't know if it's the phosphorus in the meat. I mean, I didn't reek or anything, but you're gonna have BO anyway, or most people, I do at least. That's why I have to shower every day. But it smelled a little different. It wasn't bad, but it was just different. Um, and my mouth was dry sometimes, even though I was drinking over a gallon of water a day and lots of black coffee. But again, that could have been because I was dehydrated, and that dehydration could have been self-induced because I wasn't doing the diet appropriately. So would I try the carnivore diet again? Hell yes, I would. And this time I would just eat steaks, like ribeyes and strips and steaks with a lot of the fat on it, because I think the roast was just a little too dry and it caused some bowel issues. But no, I didn't. No constipation like you read or hear people talk about if you don't eat any fiber, because I didn't eat any fiber. I didn't eat any vegetables. I mean, I might have eaten a few salads over that 2.5 week time frame, but really no vegetables, and I didn't have a problem. I didn't have any problem using the restroom. So, is it healthy? The jury's still out. It's a hell of a lot healthier than being overweight, and it's not possible to be overweight when you're eating a carnivore diet. So you can look at it that way. You're getting all your vitamins, you're getting all your nutrients. Like I said, I didn't have any bathroom problems, so I don't think fiber was an issue there. There are people that claim to have been, or that are on, or have been on the carnivore diet for decades, and they're perfectly healthy. It's going to boost your testosterone. It's going to keep your hormone balance in check. No GMOs. If you're eating foods that aren't genetically modified, if you're eating foods that are organic and pasture raised and humanely raised and slaughtered cows and humanely raised eggs, then that food is going to be way better for you than anything that you buy at any grocery store. Our food has been so bastardized and so poisoned that you're getting these trace chemicals in your body, and it's causing all kinds of shit to get out of whack. So if you want to jumpstart your diet, I would say carnivore diet is a great way to go, because you're going to get a real fast win. You're going to get a quick win. You're going to lose a lot of weight. You might gain a little bit of it back, but as long as you reintroduce the carbs slowly, you'll be able to do it in a controlled manner, and you won't bounce back as far. And if you cut out all the refined sugar, you'll be fine. So I mentioned sugar. I did have some cravings, because you're going to go through like a sugar withdrawal. That's one thing that did happen. Okay, one more con, and then I got to get out of here. The first 2 days, I had like a headache for literally like a day and a half, 2 days straight. And it was because my body was withdrawing from the sugar and the carbohydrates that I was eating. And it literally felt like there was half my brain was just aching, like right behind my left eyeball and my left temple. It was just super painful and just very uncomfortable for about 2 days. So what you can do about that, you just have to get through it. Make sure you stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, get your body, the water that it needs to process all those carbs out. But it just goes to show you that the carbs are like a drug. Sugar is about 8 to 9 times, 10 times as addicting as cocaine. So once you get that in your system, it's game on, baby. It's going to be an epic struggle, a tug of war back and forth between you and cravings pretty much forever. So it's best to not have it around. I craved it for a couple times, but I just got over the craving, and that was that. So it's something you can try. I really recommend it. Talk to your doctor first, though. People get all bent out of shape when you tell them that they're going to be eating this terrific diet, but it doesn't have any fiber, or you're not eating vegetables or fruit, and it just kind of counters everything that we've been told our whole life. So go ahead and talk to your doctor about it if you're skeptical. But I tried it, had some great success, and I would definitely try it again and recommend it to anyone who wants to lose weight fast, who wants to improve their focus and performance with any type of mental task, and who wants to get into great shape. So thanks for listening, guys. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.